If you followed Maine's music scene during the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, you no doubt know the name Bill Chinnock. You probably also know about his struggle with Lyme disease and about the very sad and violent way that he died. In May, there's going to be a big benefit concert here in Maine to pay tribute to Bill and to raise money for a special fund for people suffering from Lyme disease. We'll tell you more about that a little later, but first, our Sharon Rose Vaznis sat down with Bill's widow, Terry, a few years back for her first television interview ever about her husband's illness and death. Here again is that heart-wrenching story.
He was so smart and he was so talented and funny and creative and bouncing all over the place. He was just a great guy.
Terry Chinnock's eyes still light up when she talks about the man she fell in love with as a teenager and married when she was just 20 years old.
We always had 10 projects going on at once, and he had so many different interests other than the music.
But it was the music Bill was best known for. In the late 60s, Billy Chinnock was one of the pioneers of the Jersey Shore music scene that spawned such superstars as Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi. In the 1970s, he moved to Maine, the home state of his dear friend and father-in-law, country music star Dick Curlis. Bill continued to make music, releasing some albums, winning an Emmy for the soap opera theme Somewhere in the Night, and wowing crowds up and down the East Coast with his energetic live performances. Life was good.
But right now, who could ask for more than I have? I'm a very, very lucky man.
And it only got better with the birth of his son William in 1998.
We were at a great place in our lives. It was fabulous. And then this whole nightmare started.
Bill had just started to show the early signs of Lyme disease, but at that point he had no idea what it was. And just a few months later, Terry started having similar symptoms. Before long, they were both horribly ill with headaches, burning sensations in their legs, and overwhelming fatigue.
I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. Your balance is off. You can't think straight. Everything's scrambled. Numbers, words, sound sensitivity. The only other way we could describe it was if you stuck your finger in an electrical socket. That's what your whole body felt like all the time, and it just wouldn't stop.
Bill and Terry traveled all over the country and even overseas searching for a cure. They tried almost everything, including aggressive antibiotic therapy. While they each had their ups and downs, neither of them could completely kick it. Meantime, with Bill unable to work much of the time, they had to sell their farmhouse in Fairfield, their health insurance ran out, and they lost their film and recording studio. Still, Terry says Bill was determined not to let it get the best of him.
He had so many things he wanted to do, he didn't have time for being ill.
In 2003, Bill released his first new album in years, Livin' in the Promised Land. He was promoting the CD when he made this appearance in New York City in 2004.
He did a few shows. I mean, I could tell a difference where he would, wasn't quite him.
And soon thereafter, Terry says Bill took a terrible turn for the worse. She could see the love of her life slipping away.
He couldn't even have a conversation. It was every moment. There was never relief. It was every moment. You were praying all the time, dear God, man, take this away. It was just so bad. And I can remember looking in his eyes, and there was this blank, it was like he was gone. It was just pretty crazy. He'd crossed over to this place where he just couldn't pull up out of it, and he didn't know what to do. And I was afraid for him, I was afraid for myself, I was afraid for William, and I knew Bill well enough that he was going to do something. think the fact that he was so sick and he didn't see any, he just wasn't getting better.
On March 7th, 2007, at 4:45 p.m., Bill Chinnock put a gun to his head and ended his life.
You miss your dad?
Yeah.
William Chinnock, now 11, says he understands why his dad took his life, but it's still hard.
The thing that hurts me the most is that you're not ever going to be able to see that person again, until you die or whenever. And so that was the thing that hurt the most.
And he wants to follow in his dad's footsteps.
Yeah, I play guitar.
Terry says if it weren't for William, she doesn't know how she would make it through some days. She still suffers from some of the symptoms of the Lyme disease. And of course, she still misses Bill, too.
It's just really sad because he was such a vibrant, great guy. I mean, he really was unique.
In the sky.
A very touching story. To this day, Terry still suffers from Lyme symptoms. As for William, though, he's all grown up. He'll be starting college at the University of Maine this fall with a major in political science, and he plans to go to law school after that.